Namaste everyone. If you're able to hear me and see me clearly, please type in the chat so that I'll know. All right. I see lots of people joining in. So I think this is a good time to hand it over to Mr. Marathe to share a few words and then we begin.
Thank you, Preeti ji. So today we have a special guest with us. She is from Pune, Maharashtra. Her mother actually joined us for many of the sessions, Prasanna Pillai. So she introduced me to Preeti ji. So Preeti ji, if you have seen the invitation email, there is a YouTube channel which Preeti is running, Mahakatha its name. So she is a mantra meditation coach. It is in fact a great opportunity for us to have her here. So I welcome Preeti ji, heartily welcome to you, and thank you for making time and being here. Looking forward for a great session. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me and welcome, namaste to one and all to this very unique experience that you all are about to share with me. I'm extremely grateful that you're joining me here today. And just to extend on what Mr. Marathe said, many of you might not know me. I have been a part of this channel, this spirituality channel on YouTube called Mahakatha. And I've been chanting mantras for listeners across the world for the last 6 years. And it has been an incredibly rewarding experience because I've really come to see how people across different cultures in our time have come to embrace these mantras and make them a part of their lives. Right? So it has been a blessing to be able to do this and to be able to share this with you today. Now, just to set a few ground rules, everyone, I would really like, if possible, for you to have your camera switched on while the microphone is on mute so I can see all of you. It would be really nice to see who I'm talking to. Namaste. Wonderful. All right. So to give you a brief of what we're going to do today, we are going to begin with a scenario, all right? We're going to begin with a beautiful scenario and then move on to talk a little bit about mantras, right? Do one small exercise, which I call the release exercise. And then I will chant live the Nirvana Shatakam for you while you meditate to this beautiful mantra, all right? Now, let me begin with the beautiful scenario that I was talking about. Now, in this situation where there are so many restrictions on us going out, stepping out of home, I want you to imagine this scenario where one day all of this is lifted, all of these restrictions are lifted, and one morning you wake up and you decide that there are no more reasons for you to not go out. And so you put on your walking shoes. Right before sunrise, you put on your walking shoes and you get ready and you say, I'm ready to go out and take a nice long trekking trip, a nice long walk among the hills near my house. So you're ready to go on that trip. You're excited to be on that trip. So you're all decked up. Everything is in the right place. And so you step out. Now, you know that on this trekking trip, you're going to find lots of greenery, lots of trees, lots of flowers, fresh air, and everything. You're really going to enjoy these things. But you also know that when you're going to take this walk, there are going to be and rocks and pebbles and sticks and sharp things and dirt in some places as you take that walk. But that doesn't stop you from going out. You say, I'm sure I will really enjoy this walk as a whole, and I'll also enjoy conquering the challenge of all these obstacles that come my way, of all these little obstacles lying around that come my way. And so you're really, really excited to take that walk. Of course, you're a little worried about the obstacles, but then you start taking your walk and you start walking in your shoes, and then suddenly you realize that there are some tiny sharp pebbles in your shoe. There are some tiny sharp pebbles in your shoe. That is the end of the story. Now, why is that the end of the story? Because when you think about the trek that you were going to take, you were going to walk around the hills, across the hills. It was going to be a long walk. It was going to be a tiring walk. But which of these is the bigger obstacle according to you? The walk among the hills, among the pebbles, among the dirt, among all of that, or those 2-3 little tiny pebbles in your shoe that won't allow you to take even 3 to 4 steps peacefully? Which of these do you think is the bigger obstacle? You can type in your answers right now. I'll give you a few seconds to type in your answers. Yes, so do all of you agree that those pebbles are making it a little more difficult than the long road ahead of you? Because those pebbles will not allow you to take even a few steps in peace without pain, right? Great. So what do you do when that happens? What do you do when you feel those pebbles inside your shoes? You find a quiet place, you find a clean place to stop, probably preferably you can sit down, right? So you sit down on a bench or a plank and you take off your shoes, and what do? You shake off the pebbles out of your shoes before you can take another step. You shake off the pebbles out of your shoes. And that is what we are trying to do through mantra meditation. Mantra meditation, and today's session is about that, is about finding that place, sitting down, taking a break, soothing yourself, taking off your shoes, shaking off those tiny little pebbles that are stuck in your mind, have been built up since so long, and then resting for a while because you have a long, long way to go. Don't we all? We have a long, long way to go. So that is what today's session is going to be about. All right. Now, with this scenario in mind, let me tell you a little more about mantras. Mantras are excellent, excellent tools to cultivate the mind in a certain way, to protect the mind from negativity, from thoughts and beliefs that do not help us, that hold us back. Mantras are excellent tools to empower your mind, right? And at the same time, even when it comes to physical difficulties. Let's say some of us or some of the people we know are going through illness or are constantly falling ill or are really afraid for their health, right? We all know such people, and some of us go through that as well. So even in that case, sometimes, even without us realizing, while our body is designed to heal, while our body is designed to fight for us till the very end, our mind might be silently resisting this healing. We do not know that consciously, but we come to that realization and then we heal our minds, and then the mind and the body are on the same page to heal. That's when treatments and therapy and medications work wonders, right? That is when it becomes more and more effective. Now, that said, it is important for me to state, I'm sure you all know, but I feel like it is important for me to say that while mantras are extremely powerful to give you a sense of well-being, they are not an alternative to any kind of medication or medical treatment or medical therapy, right? They are in their place for, aiding and supporting and promoting our health, while mantras and mantra meditation is a great way to support that, right? It works well with that. So now, given you, after having given you a basic understanding of what mantras are, and of course, mantras have been around since more than 3,000 years. The oldest mantra that I found was over 3,000 years old, right? And it has been there since those ages across civilizations. I like to call them civilization's best kept secret, because they've been passed down and passed down and passed down. That's how we've learned them, right? So that is a little bit about mantras. And now I really want you to experience the process of mantra meditation yourself. Before that, we have a very, very important little exercise, right? So if you're ready for that exercise, please type ready in the chat so I know you're ready. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. So now we are going to do the exercise that I called a release exercise, right? This is something where you learn to soothe your suffering and focus on your healing. This is a sentence that I really, really want you to carry with you even after this session. We must all learn to soothe our suffering rather than resist it, rather than fight it, rather than ignore it or avoid it. It doesn't do us any good. What we need to learn is to soothe our suffering and focus on our healing, right? So through this release exercise, we're going to do that. Now, in this exercise, there are going to be slight body movements, which you can do sitting in your chair, wherever you are, right? It's going to be quite plain and simple. So all I need you to do now is to give me your full focus and attention while I guide you, right? And we're going to close our eyes for the optimum experience. So everybody, I want you to close your eyes, just sit back and relax. You do not need anything else. Sit back, close your eyes, and relax. All right. Now, I want you to take 3 deep breaths with me. 3 deep breaths, starting from 3 to 1. You ready? 3. Deep breath in and slowly exhale. Good. 2. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And 1. Deep breath in, and finally deep and slow and even breath out. Wonderful. Now, please keep your eyes closed and listen to my voice. Listen to these guiding lines, these guiding instructions. Now we're going to release stress and struggle from the mind by releasing the stress and struggle from the body. I repeat, we're going to release stress and struggle from the mind by releasing the stress and struggle from your body. We're going to focus on every area of our body which is our home. We're going to focus on every area of our home. Through this exercise, keep your eyes closed, and only when you're unsure or confused, you can look at me for a second for guidance. And as we travel through your body, feel free to skip any parts that are uncomfortable for you physically. Now, let's begin with our hands. All right? I want you to clench your fists as hard as you can for just a few seconds. Clench your fists as hard as you can and visualize holding all your obstacles in your fists. Keep them clenched for a few more seconds. Hold them tightly so you can feel the strain in your muscles. Now think of the beautiful things that your hands have created. Everyone, think of the beautiful things that your hands have created. Right since you were a child, can you remember some of those beautiful things you created when you were a little boy or a little girl? How much joy it gave you. And from there on, as you grew older, you created things that still give you joy. And now I want you to take a deep breath, release that breath, and say to yourself, silently, say it in your mind, my gifts are greater than my pain. My gifts are greater than my pain. And slowly release your fists. Now we focus on the lower arms, the part between the wrist and the elbow. So what I want you to do is bend your wrists up. Bend your wrists up. Bend your wrists up this way, yes, and stretch it as much as you can. Feel the strain in your wrist for just a few seconds. A little bit of strain is good. Feel that strain for just a few seconds. And now you can relax them. And while you're relaxing your hands, now I want you to visualize. Visualize two little boats on the sea. Visualize the day. Is it windy? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it bright? Just the sea and these two boats, nothing else. What's the color of these two boats? Now, these two boats are named stress and struggle. One boat is named stress. The other boat is named struggle. I want you to notice them. Where are they now? Are they at a little distance from you, or are they very close to you and you can barely see the complete boat? That's how close they are to you. Wherever they are, I just want you to notice them, visualize them. You don't have to do anything in this moment to push these boats away. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is give a kind look to these boats, wherever they are, because they also are on a journey. These two little boats are on their own journey. So let the boats be. And now we're going to come back after a while to the visualization of those two boats. Meanwhile, we're going to focus on our upper arms. The upper arms, the part between your shoulders and your elbow. Let's focus on that. What we're going to do is we're going to bend our elbows up. Bend our elbows up like we're lifting weights, right? And let there be that strain again for a few seconds. Just a few seconds. And now, as you are straining these muscles, as you're holding tight, I want you to think of the embraces, the hugs, embraces. Do you remember the earliest, happiest, most loving hug you ever received? Try to remember all those embraces and hugs that came to you from people who loved you. Embraces of joy, embraces of pain, embraces of grief, and embraces of relief. And slowly release your hands and give thanks for all those embraces that came to you at the right time. Take a deep breath and give thanks for all those embraces. Now we move on to our shoulders. We're going to flex our shoulders a little bit. All I want you to do is lift your shoulders up. Lift them up as close to your ears as you can. Lift your shoulders up. Keep your eyes closed. And now I want you to think about something really, really deep. I want you to think of responsibility. Think of responsibility. Think of all the responsibility that you have handled with so much love and so much care. All the responsibilities that were handed to you. And you put your soul, your heart and soul into fulfilling these responsibilities, sometimes even painfully. But you fulfilled your responsibilities. And now I want you to release your shoulders and realize your own true value as someone who has fulfilled responsibilities, someone who has cared, someone who has loved. And I also want you to give thanks for the fact that you were needed. Wasn't it wonderful that you were needed by people, that you were trusted by people for you to help them? Give thanks for that beautiful gift. And now we are going to focus on our back. Before that, with closed eyes, Now let's visualize those boats again, those two little boats. Stress and struggle. Where are they now? Are they closer to you? Are they further away? Wherever they are just naturally floating away. It is in their nature to float away. They don't know anything else to do. It is in their nature to simply float away. Even as we continue to focus on beautiful things, beautiful feelings in this session, these two little boats are floating further and further away. Now I'd like you to open your eyes for a few seconds just to let me know how you all are doing. Just drop a short comment about it in the chat section. Tell me how you all are doing so we can proceed and finish this exercise. Let me know if you all are doing good, if you all are feeling good. Are you feeling good? Yes, if it's a yes, please type yes in the comment box so I'll complete the exercise. Wonderful. All right. Now, again, all we have to do is close our eyes and listen to my voice. Sit back and listen to my voice. Now we move on to the neck. Now, once you close your eyes, I want you to imagine that your past is to your left and your future is to your right. So now we're going to slowly turn our heads towards the past for just a few seconds. And I want you to just look at it. I just want you to see all the flashes that are coming to you at this moment. Just observe. What are the pictures and images and scenes you're able to see from the past right now? Whatever they are, whether they are happy memories, whether they are painful ones, whether they are victories, I want you to see all of them just as they come. If you allow yourself to really see, you might end up seeing something you didn't expect from your past. Something unexpected might show up right now in your memory. All that you see from your past has shaped you, has evolved into you. And so, silently to yourself, without opening your eyes, as you look towards the past, I want you to say, I want you to repeat after me, I love you, I forgive you, and I'm ready to let you go. I know it's a little difficult to let go of those beautiful, beautiful things that you're seeing right now, but at this moment, be a complete calm and peace of mind. You have to allow these things to go. So tell yourself again, tell your past again, I love you, I forgive you, and I'm ready to let you go. Now slowly we turn our heads back to the present. And now towards the future, towards the right. You can already see images forming from your future. All your expectations, all your desires, all the adventure, all the newness, and also all the things that you're afraid of, all the consequences that you're afraid of. You see all of that when you look towards the right. And just like you did towards the past, I simply want you to observe all the things that are coming up. The path ahead is beautiful now that we are sitting down and shaking the pebbles out of our shoes. And so, as you turn back again to the present, I want you to tell your future, I love you, and every day I'm getting more and more ready to accept you as you are. I love you, and every day I'm getting more and more ready to accept you as you are. Take a deep breath and come back to your present moment. Now with closed eyes, let's try to visualize those boats again. Those two boats behind the canvas of your eyes, your closed eyes. Stress and struggle. Where are they now? Have they floated a little further away? A lot further away? Where are they right now? All you have to do is look at them as they continue to float away. Wonderful. Now we're going to focus on our forehead and our eyebrows. Our forehead and our eyebrows. I want you to raise your eyebrows as high as you can for just a few seconds. Raise your eyebrows. And think of how much this beautiful mind of yours worries. Think of how much it worries. Just acknowledge to yourself that it indeed does worry a lot. And now, as you release your eyebrows and come back to normal, I want you to think of those incidents in your life in the past where you were so worried about something, but it suddenly, miraculously almost, just worked out. You expected something to go really badly, but in fact, it was beautiful. Can you think of any one or a few incidents like that in the past, even from the time when you were a child? Things that just simply worked out for you. And thinking of those wonderful events, I want you to take a deep breath and give thanks for all those miracles in your life. Now, we're going to focus on the eyes and the jaws. So first, on the eyes. We're going to focus on our eyes. Now, with closed eyes, I want you to shut them as tightly as you can, tightly close, for just a few seconds. And I want you to see all the beautiful things that you love to see. What do you love to see? What colors do you love to see? What places do you love to see? What old pictures do you love to see? What people do you love to see? Let them flash before you like a movie right now. Everything you love to see. Once this lockdown is over, once the virus is out, what would you really, really love to see? There's so much to look forward to. There's so much beautiful that's on its way. And for all these things of beauty that fill you up so easily with joy, they give you such easy happiness, I want you to take a deep breath and give gratitude for those things, for those beautiful things that you have seen and those beautiful things you want to see. And now we focus on the jaw. Now when we focus on the jaw, I want you to clench your jaw, clench your teeth as tightly as you can for just a few seconds. As tightly as you can. And think of how gifted you are to be able to speak your mind. How gifted you are to be able to express in a variety of words, in a variety of ways, to express what you feel and what you think. Also give gratitude for kind and guiding and loving words that you received right from when you were a child. Words of encouragement, words of care, words of love that you received that have made you who you are. Give thanks to those words and those beautiful, beautiful souls who were a part of your journey. And relax your jaw easily. Now, let's take another quick look at our two little boats. Stress and struggle on that beautiful day at sea. How tiny are they right now? Can you even see them clearly? How beautifully they have floated away without needing anything from you, without taking anything from you. They have just simply floated away. And now we get to the final part of this exercise where we're going to focus on our back. Our back, our support system. And after that, our chest. So first our backs, our support system who has been there for us through the toughest days. So I want you to arch your back, straighten your back backwards as tightly as you can. Stretch it as much as you can. For just a few seconds. And while you do that, Give thanks to people who were the support system, just like your back is to you, in your times of need, in your times of desperate need. Those people who may not even be a part of your journey any longer, but they were there when you needed them. Give thanks to those wonderful souls. Relax your back and focus on your chest. Your chest is home to your beating, vibrant, loving heart. It holds so much life. It makes so many things possible. And as you focus on your chest, I want you to give thanks for your ability to love. Isn't it wonderful that after all you've been through, after all that you've seen and experienced, that you can still love so unconditionally and so beautifully? Isn't it wonderful that you can still love without any resistance, without any borders, without any limitations? How blessed are you to be able to love so fully? And so I want you to take a deep breath as if you're filling your chest not just with air, but with love and with gratitude. Take a deep breath and release and relax. Now, I want you to heave a sigh of relief. All right? I want you to heave a sigh of relief. The pebbles, the little sharp pebbles have been shaken out of your shoes now. And so I want you to heave a sigh of relief, take a deep breath, and whenever you're ready, my dear friends, whenever you're ready, simply open your eyes. Gently. Wonderful. Can I see all of you again? I would really like to see a lot of glowing faces. Is it possible for you all to? All right. Wonderful. So now, before we go on, now the next part of this session is going to be the mantra chanting session, where I will introduce you to the Nirvana Shatakam mantra. And then there's going to be a chanting, right? So before we get to that, please, while you're in this zone of just coming out of the release exercise, just type a few words to tell me, to let me know how you're feeling. Just a few words in the chat box. Let me know how you're feeling so that we can move on to the next part. Good. All right. That is wonderful to hear. And I really hope that you feel a little light, especially in your upper body. Now, we've not covered the lower body in this particular session because it tends to take a little longer. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm trying to give you a feeling of what mantra meditation feels like, right? So I really hope that you feel a little lighter in your head, a little bit calmer in your mind. And there's one more very, very important question that I want to ask you before we move on to the mantra chanting. At the end, when you visualized the boats, where were they? How were they? Very far? Were they very close? What was your personal experience? Were they very far? Very close? Okay. Great. Wonderful. Yes, that also tends to happen. Sometimes you tend to forget that the boats exist, right? Wonderful. Thank you so much for being so responsive on this chat. It really gives me real-time feedback to see how y'all are doing, right? Okay, so now just give me a few seconds. I'll just take a gulp of water and be back, right? So just be with me for just a few seconds. I'll be back, okay? Relax and follow my guidance and follow my voice very closely. And meanwhile, I will be chanting the mantra live for you. And all you have to do is simply observe the effect it is having on you. All right. So the mantra that I'm chanting for you today, one of my personal favorite mantras, mantra that I really learned to chant for others was the Nirvana Shatakam mantra. Now there's a legend behind the Nirvana Shatakam mantra, right? It was written by the great Sri Adi Shankara, and there's a small little legend behind how this mantra came to be. So this mantra was written at a time centuries ago when the prominence of a guru, of having a guru in your life was great. The guru was probably the most important person in your life, almost a divine godlike figure. He was the person who would pick you up as a child and shape you to the person you would become and bring the future that you would have. So a guru was a very, very prominent figure in one's life during the time when this particular mantra was written. And so during that time, there was a little boy, 8-year-old boy, Adi Shankaracharya, who was a prodigy, who had some divine enlightenment within him right when he was young. So he was a prodigy, and he was roaming along the banks of river Narmada one day, just strolling along the banks of a river. And of course, there was only one thing on his mind. And that thing was, I really, really want to find a guru for myself. I'm seeking a guru with all my effort, with all my focus. That's the one thing that I want in my life. I want a guru in my life. And so as he was thinking on this, he was strolling along the banks of the river, and there happened to be one Swami who was passing by, who noticed this little boy thinking such serious thoughts, looking so serious while he was thinking. And so this Swami, out of curiosity, approached the 8-year-old Adi Shankaracharya and asked him, little boy, who are you? Now, such a simple question to an 8-year-old boy, who are you? But the answer was a 6-versed mantra that the 8-year-old boy composed and recited on the spot. The answer was an answer to the question, who are you? Right? Not what your name is, not where you live, not what you do, not what you've come here to do, not what your purpose in life is, nothing. The answer was, who are you? And that became the Nirvana Shatakam. The Nirvana Shatakam. Shatakam means 6 verses, a combination of 6 verses. And Nirvana, we all know what Nirvana means. We've all heard it somewhere. Nirvana is moksha, as we call it, or salvation as we know it, right? And we all already hold Nirvana within ourselves at some level. We all know that we're capable of salvation level, of capable of peace of mind and serenity on some level. No matter what we go through in our day-to-day lives, we know there is something divine and eternal within all of us. This divinity that allows us to do amazing, unexpected things. For example, it is this divinity, it is this spot of divinity that allows us to forgive someone suddenly who has been making our lives miserable, who's been making our lives difficult. We suddenly come and forgive them, even without them asking for forgiveness. That comes from a place of your inner nirvana. Or we find the courage to move on after losing something that we love dearly, or losing someone that we love dearly. When it happens, we feel like the world has ended. But we do find the courage to move on and live on and complete this life journey that we have. That is also a sign of nirvana. So this shows us that we have the capacity for nirvana within us, and the Nirvana Shatakam is all about finding that nirvana within yourself. All right, so that is the Nirvana Shatakam for you. And now we're going to begin the live chanting experience. All of you, please let me know if you're ready for this segment. I'm ready to meditate and listen to this beautiful mantra. Please type ready in the comments. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start this segment. Please close your eyes, relax, right? And listen again to my voice. Observe the effect it has on your body and your mind. Sit back, close your eyes. In the next few minutes, we are going to experience something wonderful. Whatever thoughts and emotions you are struggling with right now, it will slowly begin to untangle and melt away. I want you to be comfortable in your physical position. It doesn't matter how many distractions are around you. This is the perfect place, and this is the perfect time. Take a moment to repeat this to yourself. This is the perfect place, and this is the perfect time. As you listen to my voice, I want you to relax by simply focusing on the constant rhythm of your breath. Can you please listen closely to the constant rhythm of your breathing? And while you do so, I want you to rest your eyes. If you ever feel lost or distracted in the middle of this guided session, simply draw your focus back to your breath and then lean back in towards my words. And before we begin, I want you to set an intention together with me. I want you to think, all of you, take a moment to think. How do you want to feel at the end of this session? It's a strange, unexpected question, but think about it. How do you want to feel at the end of this session? After these few minutes of mantra meditation, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel clear and confident and have a stronger intuition? Do you want to feel courage to face any changes that are going to happen in the next few days or months or years? Do you want to feel free to create the life of your dreams without feeling pressured by everything else? How do you want to feel at the end of this session? And how do you want a week after this session? 1 week after this session, how do you want to feel? And so because we want to feel positive, we want to feel strong, and we want to feel free, we are going to focus on 3 power words today. 3 power words which will be the center of our attention during this mantra meditation session. The first word is clarity. Clarity, not just in terms of what to choose or how to act, but clarity in knowing who you are. I want you to have that clarity. Wouldn't it be nice to never forget who you are and how divine you are and how wonderful your existence itself is, how wonderful this opportunity of life is? So I want you to have clarity on who you are, clarity in your awareness as a child of the universe. You are a child of the universe. You've come here, my dear friends, you've come here to play, to experience, before you must go back home. You are a child of the universe. I want you to have clarity about your unbreakable, irreversible bond with the universe. You and the universe are connected, and this connection can never go wrong and can never be broken, and so you will never be abandoned in this lifetime. I want you to have clarity on that. I want you to have clarity about your own value, independent of everything and everyone else. No matter how others see you, I want you to see yourself in your true value. I want you to have clarity on your own true value. Let us invite such powerful clarity into our lives through this mantra meditation session. That is your first power word. We are going to invite more and more clarity into our lives through this mantra meditation session. The second power word is courage. The courage to let go of your suffering. Remember, it's not very easy to let go of one's suffering. Sometimes it becomes a part of our identity. So I want you to have the courage to let go of your suffering, because it does not decide your future. I want you to have the courage to listen to and follow your inner voice. No matter what the world says, I want you to have the courage to listen to and to follow your inner voice with complete trust. The courage to approach anything new with an open and receptive mind, without the shadows of your past. Open, receptive mind. And I want you to have the courage, so much courage, that you will never fear change again. Say to yourself, I wish to never fear change again. Let us invite more and more of such powerful courage into our life experience through this mantra meditation session. So we've defined courage and we've defined clarity. Now we move on to the third power word, which is freedom. The freedom to focus on walking towards what you want, rather than constantly walking away from what you don't want. I repeat that. Try to understand these words closely. The freedom to focus on walking towards what you want, rather than always walking away from what you don't want. The freedom to rebuild the most desirable version of your life. The freedom to do that. And the freedom that is about to come your way in the form of health, in the form of wealth, in the form of prosperity, joy, relationships, love. And the freedom that comes from knowing that no matter what, the universe will always respond to you. The universe will always respond to you. The universe will always respond to you. Let us invite such freedom into our lives through this mantra meditation experience. Those were the power words for today. Before we begin the chanting, let us reiterate these three power words, this intention for ourselves. I want to invite more and more clarity into my life. I want to invite more and more courage into my life. And I want to invite more and more freedom into my life. Now that the intention is set, my dear friends, the mantra will begin to heal you in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Manobuddhyahankar chittani naham na cha shrota juhe na ghrana netre na cha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Nacha Prana Saudnyo Navai Panchavayu Nava Tadhatur Nava Panchakosha Nava Panipadam Nachopasthapayu Chidandarupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupa Shivoham Shivoham. Let us stay focused on our 3 power words: clarity, courage, and freedom. As we move on to the next 2 verses of this mantra. Na me dve
द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहो मदो नैव मेनैव मात्सर्यभावा न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो मोक्षा चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखम् न मन्त्रो न तीर्थ न वेदा न यज्ञा अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. Now, before we move to the last two verses of this mantra, let me explain the meaning of Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. It simply means I am pure, eternal, blissful consciousness that exists beyond everything. I am pure, eternal, blissful consciousness that exists beyond everything. Now we proceed to the last two verses. Please dive deep into these sounds and enjoy them as much as you can right now. Na me mrityu shanka, na me jati bheda, pita naiva me naiva mata na janma, na bandhur na mitram, gurur naiva shishya, chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham, chidananda rupa shivoham शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकार रूपो विभुर्व्याच सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणाम् न च संगतं नैव मुक्तिर् न बन्धा चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. I want you to gently open your eyes whenever you're ready. Gently open your eyes. And as you gently come back to your current moment, your current place, your current reality, take a moment to appreciate the experience you just had. How everything came together so that you could be here today. It is no coincidence. Take a moment to appreciate that. Open your eyes. And now tell me, for I'm really excited to hear from you. I would really like you to type in the comments and tell me how you feel. All right, so anybody, in addition to that, anybody who wishes to speak of their experience, I would love to hear that too. So since a very, very special person is here, my mother is on this call, so I am going to try and unmute her mic for just a bit. Amma, if you wish to share, you can go ahead.
It's one of the most beautiful experience of journeying within you. It is so beautiful, and I found there was no space, no time. Everything was blissful.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Amma. Thank you so much. Anybody else who wishes to share? Share their words with me, yes. Mr. Nagabhushan, yes. You can unmute your mic, sir. Yes? Yeah.
I feel very light and very good experience. Thank you for the good mantra meditation.
Wonderful. You're most welcome. The pleasure is all mine. It only was possible because you put your effort in it too. You opened up to it too. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Madam,
Yes.
namaste. Madam, namaste. This is
Namaste.
Umesh from Bangalore.
Namaste.
When I was getting to the meditation of mantra which was going on, at the end I was totally relaxed, and now I'm feeling there is something broader and broader that's been going on. And once when I opened my eyes, okay, I found a lot of energy in my eyes too. So thank you very much for this good meditation that you have given us.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback, Umesh sir. Anybody else? All right. Thank you, and thank you so much for all the comments that you've shared here on the chat as well. I'm still going through them. And please know that, as I said, this was possible only because
Preeti,
Can you repeat the three powerful words, madam? First one is courage. Second one,
Preeti, unmute.
Preeti, your mic is muted.
oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know when I muted my mic. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. So the three
yes, second.
words are clarity, clarity of mind, courage, and freedom.
Freedom.
Yes. Any other questions you have? I would love to answer them. All right. So again, I take this opportunity to thank all of you for being such wonderful participants, right? And for your beautiful comments right here. I will hopefully see you again in another session. Thank you so much. And lots of love and lots of health and healing to all of you in these difficult times. Thank you again. And thank you, Mr. Marathe, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.